Hello, everybody. Welcome to the South Seminole Lounge. My name is Mr. Miles. I'm joined here by Sophie and our special guest, Dr. Griffin. He is on his, I wouldn't call it your farewell tour just yet,
That's right.
but you've got a lot of schools you'll be visiting in the next few days.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Well-
I'll be superintendent through the end of the school.
Of course, yes. And then you were visiting Castleberry Elementary earlier today as well.
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. And now he stopped by here at South Seminole Academy, and we have 40 years, 40 questions. Just kidding, it's only 10 questions. We only have 10 questions. Our first question comes from Chloe. She's a Seminole Connect student from first period. Chloe Fisher, do you have a question for Dr. Griffin?
One thing you do every year is congratulate all of the safety patrols and watch those student protectors head into middle school. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel really good, and it's a great memory because I was the safety patrol in elementary school, and we look forward to that. The board and I go every year to congratulate our safety patrols because they're leaders and they're also concerned about everybody's safety. So we love doing that every year.
Very good. Both my daughters did it, and I've got video of you shaking their hands from both years that they did that as well. Our next question comes from Amelia. She's also Seminole Connect from first period. Amelia, you have a question?
What were some of the hardships you encountered while being an educator? How did you push through?
Yeah, I think the hardest part of being an educator is that schools are just a microcosm of what's happening in society. And a lot of times when I see there's unrest in the nation or in the globe, it's troubling. And we figure out how to get the right message and how to be supportive and how to teach our students to be good people and how to persevere through big problems.
Very, very good. Next question is from Haley, who's also a Seminole Connect student. Haley, you have a question?
What was something that happened to you during your career that changed your life?
Well, a lot of things. I think becoming a parent, raising children while I was a young teacher and a young administrator made me more sympathetic to the challenges that parents have. Both my wife and I worked when our children were young. So I think it made me a better educator, more sympathetic and more understanding.
Did any of your kids go to the same school you were teaching at?
Yes, where I was principal, yes.
Yes, that's going on with my daughter right now.
Yes.
Hi, Riley at home. I'm sorry, Riley.
Hello, Riley.
I'm sorry. Riley's going to ask a question a little bit later. Our next question comes from Jenna. She's also Seminole Connect first period. Jenna, you have a question?
Out of all the SCPS improvements you have played a part in, which are you most proud of and why?
Yeah, I think hands down, I'm working with the board, all the programs, including this program that we have available for students across the district. I'm a big believer in magnet programs, big believer in programs emphasis, and the board and I have been really, really successful at getting more career technical opportunities for students. So I think all the choices that are available make me very, very proud.
Oh, very good. He came prepared. These are good answers, would you say? Yes, this is very good. Our next question comes from Sophie. Sophie's going to ask the questions from our face-to-face students who are here in first period. Go ahead, Sophie.
Do you remember your first year as a teacher? Were you nervous, excited, etc., and why?
Yeah, I was very, very excited, and I was very nervous. I taught 7th and 8th grade math my very first year teaching, but I loved it, and I never looked back. I always thought that that was the job for me, and quite frankly, of all the jobs I had, I think teaching was probably the best job I've ever had.
Very, very good. Will you ask the other questions from our face-to-face students?
What was your overall goal for the Seminole County when you became superintendent?
Yeah, I had 3 goals that I brought up in the interview, and they were college, career, and citizenship. And it was to continue the university and college excellence that the district already had through advanced placement and advanced opportunities. Second was career, and that was to have lots of career opportunities available for all of our students. And third, which I really think at the end of the day is probably most important, is citizenship. It's students and all of us understanding and appreciating the freedoms that we have as Americans.
I met somebody recently who was telling me about a program you had started about auto repair. Was it? I forgot what school it was. You just recently had a ribbon cutting or something for a new location where they're learning how to do auto repair at the high school level now.
Correct.
That's amazing to see that they're doing
auto
that.
repair, aviation, we have all sorts of programs. Yeah.
Very, very
The
good.
board's been really supportive of that.
Our next question comes from Chloe Lee. She's Seminole Connect from first period. Chloe, do you have a question?
Who inspired you to become an educator?
It had an interesting route, but I have to say, hands down, my 5th grade teacher, Miss Cotton, she encouraged me to run for student government in 5th grade. And in those days, 5th grade was self-contained, and my whole class worked on my campaign. And I remember it was really probably the first real public speaking experience I had. I had to speak in front of the whole auditorium. and she'd take me in there and practice and practice and practice. And I had note cards. And I remember the morning that I had to go give my speech. I'm walking up to the stage, and she took my note cards from me, and I had to speak to the whole school. And I remember when they tallied all the votes and I won, my class screaming and being all excited. And I remember just realizing the impact that one person can have really made me want to be a teacher.
I just gasped, and so did you when you heard that. They took his note cards away from him. Like, if you did that to me right now, I'd be like, okay, this interview's over. I'm sorry.
I had no note cards.
Wow. This next one is another face-to-face question from Alyssa.
When you were our age, did you plan on working at schools or as a superintendent?
Really, I had no idea that I would ever be a superintendent. I probably barely knew what a superintendent was when I was in 6th grade. I always knew I wanted to be with people and help people. And really, the career route that I had has just been through enjoying every single job I've had along the way. I was a teacher and principal and a few other jobs before I was superintendent. And I think it's all about just working hard and caring for people and trying to do the right thing all the time. But I never woke up one day and said, when I grow up, I want to be superintendent. I just wanted to be a good worker and be a good person.
Very good. Our next question comes from Riley. She's one of our Seminole Connect first period. Riley, you have a question for us?
What has been the hardest challenge for the school board because of COVID-19?
There's been a lot of challenges for the school board. I think, hands down, the hardest part is the emotions and the roller coaster that we see our families going through. And that's why the board really encouraged me to bring forward lots of options so families can make their personal choice. Everybody has a different story. Everybody has a different situation. So we did that. We gave, as you see, we have Seminole Connect going. We have face-to-face going. We have kids at virtual school. We have some hybrid models. But I think it was us seeing our community not at rest, everybody worried about their family's health, and everybody having individual situations. Hands down, this COVID experience has been one of the most challenging years in my career, and it's why I'm glad I'm here this year to just do my part on the team to help us get through all this. But it hasn't been easy.
I mean, there was a long period of time when teachers and students were at home over the summer, over the extended spring break, where we were wondering what was going to happen.
Yes.
Those were some of your busiest days, I'm sure.
They were, and there was a lot of uncertainty, and the medical information was changing. But the last thing I'll say about it, the thing that got me through it were all of the medical doctors in the area that came to the table to help me, because I learned some people had political reasons for asking us to do certain things, but I learned if I really stuck with science and medicine, and that guided our decisions, we were in good shape. So I'm very proud of where we are today. I know it's not perfect, and not every situation is perfect, but I think we did the best we could do with everything we had control over.
Started out as a math teacher, learned a lot about science in the past year, it
Oh,
sounds
yes,
like.
virology.
Our last question comes from Colin. He's Seminole Connect from first period. Colin, you have a question?
What are you most looking forward to in your retirement?
Ah, looking ahead now. Okay.
Hands down, I have 3 grandchildren and a 4th on the way. And the job I have now, I am very, very busy and love every minute of it. But I'm looking forward to a weekend without a text message related to work or a phone call, or just to relax a little bit and enjoy my wonderful family.
I know how many emails I have with my Seminole County email address. I'm just wondering when the day is when you finally deactivate that account and how much free space we're going to get back into our system.
Yes.
I have one more question that's not on the card. I was wondering if you could give us an update on the status of Arts Alive this year, and then maybe let the audience know, what is Arts Alive?
Yeah, first of all, Arts Alive is the #1 fundraiser for our foundation. The foundation raises money for the schools. And Arts Alive showcases all the great arts programs in the district. I understand this year we're actually going to be getting an update at 2 o'clock today. It's going to be a virtual event.
Excellent.
And there'll be virtual tryouts. But working with the board, we've decided to expand Arts Alive a little bit to showcase some programs in addition to the arts, to really showcase Seminole County Public Schools.
Excellent.
This is a strange year.
Yeah, it is.
We have to go virtual, but I think 2021 and forward, you're going to see a little different program.
Excellent. We always look forward to hearing about Arts Alive. I get to work on it every year
Yes,
with
you
Bob
do.
Fryer.
Yeah.
And this would be our 6th year putting a video together,
Wow.
but we'll have to wait to see what your announcement is to see
Yes.
what exactly we can throw together this
Yeah.
year. Well, we have a little video to play for you, and then we will sign off for the day. Could you activate that for me?
On September 4th, we received the news. You made an announcement that gave us the blues.
Next year, right here, something big will transpire.
I have informed the board that I would like to retire
We've had time to reflect and think of things to say. You've educated us all, and that's impossible to repay.
Congratulations, Dr. Griffin, on your service of 40 years. You are honored and admired by your staff and your peers.
As students, we are grateful for your guidance in 2020.
Now stand back 6 feet as we're trying to be funny.
Your time here was important, which is something we all knew, so we'll try to explain what 40 years breaks down to.
It's 480 months with not a lot of breaks. That's a lot of board meetings, ribbon cuttings, and handshakes.
And 350,000 hours. If we knew where you lived, we'd send you some flowers.
That's 14,600 days minus the summers and that hurricane phase.
Standing at a podium talking to a news crew. I guess when I think about it, you had to work those days too.
When you reflect on 40 years and all of the people you have met.
You probably won't miss the ones that say, 40 years? I wasn't even born yet.
The news came to us late because COVID is no fun.
I was hoping to announce this the past spring when I turned 61.
The announcement was made not on TV or news clips. You told us on YouTube, and it's got 12,000 hits.
You've been a teacher, principal, and with you, we've been dependent.
Oh, and for a few years, you were a superintendent. I don't know what that is.
You got us pre-K in every elementary school. Some of us were those kids, and that's pretty cool.
Wow.
With you, Dr. Griffin, we succeeded a bunch.
With all of you, we have accomplished so much.
You were always so friendly, it was your greatest feature. Now please sign this form so you can be a substitute teacher.
Beautiful.
Well, congratulations to Dr. Griffin on 40 years. We thank you for being on our show today. And do you have any final words for South Seminole Academy before you go off to visit your next school today?
Thank you for the awesome video, and I want a copy of that. I will treasure it always.
Absolutely. It's up on YouTube right now, actually.
And students, just keep up the hard work. You have a great principal and great staff here, and you have so many awesome opportunities. Take advantage of it. The time is going to go really fast. Before you know it, you'll be graduating from high school. So enjoy every minute of it, and we'll get through this COVID, and life will be back to normal someday.
Thank you, Dr. Griffin, for visiting with us today. Thank you, Sophie, for asking questions. And for you guys at home, thank
Thanks,
you very
guys.
much for asking questions. That's all for today. We'll see you next time on the lounge. Bye-bye.
Thank you.